So this is Flipgrid. I'm going to, thank you, Julie. We'll also email that out to you. I'm going to screen share and get started in this. Oh my, not screen share. Okay. Well, it's taking me to full screen, so I can't see you guys anymore. But so there we go. So can y'all see this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, great. So face-to-face was a really hard thing for me to give up. I'm a theater teacher. I'm a theater adjunct at Palo Alto. And so obviously what we do is very face-to-face and hands-on. So when I started teaching online, I didn't want to completely give that up. And so it was very frustrating to me. So I found Flipgrid, and it's one of the ways it makes me feel a little more face-to-face in the online format. And then, of course, also in the remote, which we're having to do right now. But it really just increases student engagement for Canvas discussions, but there's other applications for it. But it's a chance for students to leave video responses and then also get to comment on each other. So they get to you not only get to see them, they get to kind of see and meet each other. So it kind of builds a camaraderie in the class. They know who they're talking to more as a person than just this name that I see on my screen. And it's free, which of course is the best thing in the world. And it can integrate into Canvas. So they don't have to go to a separate place. So for all these reasons, I really, really like it. So these are the objectives for what we're going.
April, I want to pause you. I think we're looking at both this slide and the next slide.
Well, awesome.
Just wanted to tell you.
I literally practiced this earlier today and it worked fine. You know how that is. But then when you go to do it in real time. Okay, no problem. I can be smarter than the computer. Maybe not. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna do it the less attractive way because I don't want to waste anyone's time.
There's a setting on
difficulties.
There's a setting on top of the display when you split it up into two that you can tell it to switch. So it'll switch the presenter's view from the viewer's view. So.
Oh, okay. This is what I had done earlier and it worked for me, but I don't know. We'll just look at it this way. That works too. So can everybody see this screen? All right, we'll just do it the less attractive way. So the objectives for this presentation are to identify the elements of Flipgrid and the advantages for using it in your Canvas course. We're going to view examples from an actual course that uses Flipgrid. We'll create a video response on Flipgrid, and then we'll sign up for Flipgrid and add it to an existing course so you can see how that can be done. So what is Flipgrid? Flipgrid is an app that was created as a way for educators to kind of encourage student engagement with video responses. So it kind of meets them where they are, which is what I like, because our students know how to do TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram Messenger and all these things where they send little videos to each other. And so for the most part, they're comfortable with that. And so it gives them a way to kind of do what they already know how to do. And so that's why I liked it, and it's free. So you just go to the Flipgrid and it will integrate into Canvas, which I'm going to talk about. So here's some advantages. First of all, it creates that face-to-face, which I already talked about. It gives students a chance to meet each other. But what I also really like is, as an instructor face-to-face, you know how we read the audience. We can tell if, as a whole, they're getting it or not. And so when you take that face-to-face element away, they may be answering the discussion prompts correctly, but I can't tell if they're really understanding it or if they're just saying the right answers in the discussion. So it gets a chance to kind of read their facial expressions as they're giving their response. And then you can see, are they really getting it, or are they just reading off something that they've written down? And so the other thing I like is that it cuts down on that cut and paste. I was getting too many students that would go into the module and they would copy the information and just paste it into their discussion answer. And it wasn't original content. So I'm like, okay, I can see that you can find the information, but I need to know if you understand the information. And so if you can analyze it or assimilate it or whatever. And then it also lowers anxiety for the students who are afraid to talk in front of the classroom, because you know how sometimes when you're trying to have a class discussion and you want to pick on someone, student X, you pick on them and they're like, deer in the headlights, because for some people, that's a lot of apprehension to talk in front of others. I'm a theater person, so I don't have that, but I know sometimes my students do. Julie's nodding her head. I know you teach speech. So when I taught speech, it was the same thing. They were so petrified to get up and talk about how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it helps those students because they can record their response and then be like, oh, I don't like that. And they can re-record it. So they have a chance to feel a little more prepared as they present for the class. So talking about QM, which is something most people have heard about now on campus, it does help meet Standard 5, which talks about learner activities and learner interaction and the importance of student engagement. And so that student-to-student interaction is much more personal. They're more encouraged to interact with each other. It increases my presence because I'm creating videos so they can actually see me giving the content. And they can actually hear me explaining a concept or a process to them. And then it also, excuse me, provides opportunities for interaction that support that active learning. So it's not just, I read this paragraph, I answer these questions. They actually are responding to each other on Flipgrid. Here's just some examples of activities. This is not an all-inclusive list, obviously. I always use it for my meet and greet now if it's a non-hybrid course where we never meet face-to-face. My asynchronous classes always use it as their meet and greet. I use it for a lot of my discussions now and like responses to things. You can do weekly check-ins that I know some people do, article reflections, presentations. If, for example, they have to design something in one of my classes and then they have to present it on Flipgrid. So it's like doing a presentation they would in my face-to-face class. All right, so I think it's really important. When I first took this workshop, I was like, I mean, I kind of get it and I watched them do it, but it wasn't until I actually had a chance to do it that I really got it. So what we're going to do for the next 6 minutes is I want you to participate in a Flipgrid. Now, the thing about Flipgrid, if you've never used it before, you do have to use a Google or a Microsoft account to have a Flipgrid account. Now, I already had a Google account. That's my platform of choice because I used to use Google Classroom and I use Google Docs and all those things in my class. So if you already have a Google account or a Microsoft account, which I know nothing about Microsoft accounts, but I think it's like Microsoft Teams, maybe?
I think we all have a Microsoft account through our Alamo.
Correct. Yes, we do. That I clearly have not used yet, but I will learn how to use it. So if you will, what I'd like you to do, if you have one of those accounts that you want to use, go ahead and go to flipgrid.com. And then you're going to put in this join code, which is PAC Flipgrid PD, meaning PAC, Flipgrid, and then PD for professional development. And then you will watch a video in there and you'll follow the instructions to introduce yourself in your own video. And then you can watch someone else's video when you finish if you want to. Now, for those of you who don't have an account yet or you don't know how to access that account, I'm going to go ahead and do the process at the same time. So you'll get a chance to see it because I know when I did this before, some people didn't have it and they were like, well, what am I going to do? I can't see it. So if you have an account, go ahead and go to flipgrid.com, put in that join code, and then you can make your own video while we are walking through it. And I say 6 minutes because it only takes about 4 minutes to do. And so in 6 minutes, come back to us. We're gonna move forward from there. So for the next 6 minutes, you can go make your own, or you can stay with me and I'm gonna walk you through the process so you can see how it goes. And I'm literally going to set an alarm on my phone because that's the kind of person I am. All right, so let me do a new share. I'm going to go over to a new window here. I have too many windows open. So I'm going to go to flipgrid.com, which I go to a lot, so it's already there. And then let me pull this out so I can see it. I'm going to enter my join code, which is PAC, Flipgrid, PD. And then it will take me to this discussion. So this is a discussion I created for this workshop, the webinar. And so this is what students will see. You have instructions that you leave over here. So I'm asking them to watch the video on the right and then record their video. That includes the following: their name, what they teach, and a fun fact about themselves. And then once they've done all that, they're going to click this response. So they'll come over here and they'll click on the video link. Hello, my name is April, and a fun fact about me is I have toured 2 of the 4 major tennis courts in the world. I have toured Wimbledon, and I have toured the US Open, and now I want to tour Roland Garros because I love, love, love tennis. Hi, this is Flipgrid. This is a place where you can make a video and you can send it out so that your students can also make videos, and then you can share, you can discuss. Now, a lot of teachers tell me they don't like to make videos because they don't like to see themselves on video. Well, I have bad news for you. You don't look any different on the video than you look in front of your students. So if you're worried about the way you look, they have to look at you like that every day. So there's no reason why you can't look at you too. I don't have any more or less chins standing in front of my students than I have on this video. So don't be afraid. Make some videos. It makes you personal. It connects to your students. I know we want to be face-to-face, but we can't be right now. And look at all the cool things I can do in here. I can add a filter. I can add my name. I can add an emoji. So have some fun. Make yourself a video for this assignment, and then play around with how you can use this in your classroom. All right, so then after they watch the video, they exit out of that, and then they can come down here and record their response. So they would click this. This is where they have to sign in with something. So I'm going to join with Google, my mini Google accounts. I'm going to pick this one, which is for Alamo. And then it opens their screen for them. There I am. And then, let me move this up so I can see. They're going to hit record. It'll count them down. They'll leave their video. Hello, my name is April. I teach theater at Palo Alto. And an interesting fact about me is I love to go hiking with my family. It's my favorite outdoor sport. So once they're finished, they push the pause button down here. There's all kinds of fun effects they can do. They can put a frame around it to zhuzh it up a little bit. They can add an emoji. Feeling angelic today. So there's all kinds of things that they can do if they want to. Most of them won't do bells and whistles. Then they hit next. They have a chance. Video. Hello, my name is April. They can edit it. This is where they can edit it. They can redo it. They can add more. They're like, oh, I forgot to tell them that I love to bake. And so they can add more to their video, or they can crop part of it out. Then they hit next, and this is where they put a name. So if you just want them to put their first name, last initial, you can do that. If you just want them to do their initials, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to put April J. And then if they don't like, this is not the most flattering screen that it chose to use out of my video, so they can take a selfie and they can have a different selfie, be what I see when their video pops up. And then they hit submit. And once it has uploaded, they get fireworks, so they know that they've successfully submitted, and then they hit complete. And so once they've done that, see, I can see Miranda has left her response, and I have left my response. I can see who all has responded to the video. And so if it's my responsibility to leave a response, then I can click on Miranda's.
Hi, my name is Miranda Gonzalez. I teach English at San Antonio College, and an interesting fact about me is that I am from New Mexico originally.
And you heard me in the background. So that's okay. I don't want to watch me. So then I can leave a comment for her. I can add a text comment. I can leave a video comment for whatever she did. It's going to do the same thing. Count me down. Wow, Miranda, that's awesome. New Mexico. We're going to be driving through New Mexico this summer. What's your favorite place to visit in New Mexico? Down. Wow. Same thing. I can edit it. Confirm. It's going to upload my response, and then I can see the response that we left. All right. So then you can see here, look, Miranda's got one comment because I submitted a comment to her. All right. So that's just an idea of what it looks like. And look, I beat my 6 minutes, and I beat my 6 minutes. So I'm going to
recognize my camera.
Sorry?
I couldn't get it to recognize my camera for some reason. I just have to mess with it some more.
That's a good question.
I wonder if Zoom was interfering with that.
Yeah,
Possible.
but Miranda did it. I tried turning off my camera on Zoom, but then it didn't work. So I tried turning my camera back on in Zoom. I don't know.
So I'm going to pause for just a second and just, I have many things open on my screen. So that's just a kind of an idea of what it's going to be like. So there's my 6 minutes. So now I'm going to look at how we integrate it into our Canvas, because I think that's the thing I like the most about it is they don't have to go to a separate place to do that. So we've introduced ourselves. All right, so this is what it looks like in the Canvas. This is a discussion that my classes do. And so you can see, like any other assignment, I have their instructions up here. And then you can see that Flipgrid, what you saw going into the Flipgrid, they actually see in a window on the assignment page. They don't have to click and go to another page or open a new tab or do any of that. They can do it straight from the Canvas page. And the one thing you need to be mindful of is you have to create it as an assignment, not a discussion in Canvas. So that's the only kind of big thing you have to remember. A lot of times I'll be going and I'll go and I'll add it in and I'll get the discussion all created. And then I go to add Flipgrid and I'm like, ah, dang it, I made it a discussion. But it's not that hard. I just copy and paste everything I already had and drop it into an assignment page. So that's the king. The other thing I like about it is I can grade it in Speedgrader. So I do have the student's permission to show her image and this page to you guys. So you can see I'm in Speedgrader right here, and this is the student meet and greet, and I can see her video in Speedgrader, and I can just come over to the rubric here and click, click, click. I can leave private comments to her. So a lot of times I try to participate and I leave comments in the discussion that everybody can see. But if maybe I need to leave a private discussion to her, like, I really wish you needed to elaborate more on point number 4, or you forgot to mention a fun fact about you. So it's something that I want to send to them privately, but I don't want the whole group to see. That's like regular in Speedgrader. You guys already know that. And then this drop down right here, I can see all the videos she left. So I can click on the drop down and see the comment she left for Bob, and I can drop down and see the comment she left for Teresa. And so I can, if I required them to comment on 2 other people, I can see right here if she did. And it's easy to just go through and grade them, which I love. So this is how you create your own account if you don't already have one. If you go back to flipgrid.com, the same place where you entered a code right here, you're going to click on Educator Sign Up, and then it will ask you to choose one of your accounts right here.
I had a quick question about what you just showed. When you said that if you were assigning them to do like a response to another peer, do you have to do that within Canvas as well? Because I know that in Canvas you can have them, you can choose how many people they have to respond to, or am I thinking of discussions?
I just put it in the instructions.
Oh, okay.
So in the directions, it'll say step 5, make sure you respond to at least so many. And then you can't see the bottom of my rubric. That's also one of the lines in the rubric. Responded to X number of people. Does that make sense?
And there's
Alright.
one quick question from the chat, April.
Yeah.
It says, can you delete the videos later? Well, I think it's the videos. It says, can you delete later? So I think it's about the videos.
Yes. So you're asking me to, yes, I will be deleting the videos later.
Oh, no, I'm just, Jesus, maybe he needs to elaborate. He just said, can you delete later? I don't know what the delete was for.
Yes. Yes. I can go in and delete
Video.
anybody.
Video. The video.
Yes. And I can do that too. Like if someone were to post a video that you thought was inappropriate too, you could go in and delete those. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. You can also moderate it where their videos don't show up until you've approved the videos. If you're worried about that. If you maybe have a population in your course that you're a little concerned about, you can moderate the videos so they don't show up until we've had a chance to moderate them. Oh, don't bling at me. So once you've created your account on Flipgrid, which is super easy, like 2 steps, then you go into Canvas, and I'm going to go in and show you all this, but I'm just going to go through the steps first, and then I'll go in real time show you how it's done. So when you go to Canvas, if you go to settings, you've got these tabs across the front, the top, you're going to click on the app tab right here. And then you're going to search in this search bar right here for Flipgrid. And then it will pop it up. It's this green little bar here. And then you click on that and you can add the app. Once you tell it to add, it's going to come up with this screen here that says, give me your consumer key and your shared secret. That's when you have to go back into Flipgrid. Once you get to this screen, you're going to go back into Flipgrid. Click on your little icon at the top and click on integrations. I'm about to do this for you, so don't fret. And then you're going to create an integration, and then you can paste the consumer key and the shared secret. So let me go in there and show you how to do that. I created this course just for today. It keeps closing my video because my Wi-Fi is not fantastic. So if I go to settings, and then I come up to apps, I'm going to type in Flipgrid, and there it is. I click on it. I say add the app, and then it says I need a consumer key and a shared secret. So then I'm going to come back up here into my Flipgrid. My Flipgrid. What are you doing? Oh, that's the wrong Flipgrid, that's why. There we go. This is my Flipgrid. So you can see I've got 7 groups, including this is the discussion that we just did together. I go up to my little smiley face guy. I click integrations, and then I'm going to create a new integration. And so I'm going to call this February 12th webinar, whatever you want to call your class. I create it, and there it pops up, my consumer key and my shared secret. So I copy this. I come back over and I paste it. I copy this. A shared secret's an oxymoron, right? Once I share it, it's no longer a secret.
So it's one integration per course, not per assignment, right?
Yes, per course. You only do that one time for the whole course. And then you can see here it's installed now. So I can use it for any discussion that I want to in my not real course. So then once you have it added, then you can create your assignment. So remember, it has to be an assignment, not a discussion. So you create an assignment like you normally would. You're going to add an assignment page, type in whatever your instructions are, add any videos or links to resource modules or things like that. And then you're going to scroll down and choose the external tool. And I'm going to walk through this with you in a second. And then you have to click save before it shows up. And then once you click save, it's going to show up. So if I come back over here, I'm going to add an assignment page. It's going to be a new assignment. I'm going to call this meet and greet. And then I'm going to add it. So here it is down here. And then you can see it's just blank. I'm going to do anything I would normally do. I hit edit. We all know how to do this on Canvas. I'm going to type in whatever my instructions are. And then I'm going to decide how many points it's worth. And then I've assigned it to the discussions assignment group, even though it's an assignment, because I want it to go in their discussion average, however you do points for your course. And then here under submission type is where I'm going to choose external tool. And I choose Flipgrid. And then once I come down here and save, I need to move you guys out of the way. Once I click save, here it is inside my Canvas. And then I can simply edit this to do whatever. So I can retitle it. It automatically titles it what the title of your page is. And it automatically makes a group for your course. So when I integrated it into my course, it made a group for this course, and all my topics I make in this course will be in that group. I can type whatever I want in the instructions bar here. I usually say something like, read the instructions above and watch the video, and then click on the response button, whatever you want the instructions in there to be. And then you have a couple of options here. You can click record a video, and I could record my video right here for this assignment. I can upload a video that I've saved to my desktop or somewhere, or I can use a YouTube video. I'm a big fan of YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I keep all my videos, so I don't have to take up so much space. So again, I think I have it open up here. Yes, April's Flipgrid video. So this is my video that I have on YouTube. You can see it's unlisted so that everybody in the world can't find me. I click share and copy my link. And then I can just insert it right here. So I don't have to redo that video every single time I want to do this meeting. Now, obviously, this is for the video for you guys, not the video that I would put in for my students, because it was specific for instructors. And then there are my videos there. It will open for them in this window so that they can see it. And then there's all these permissions. This is where you can choose to moderate it, so I can view videos before I approve them to be used somewhere else. I can choose whether they leave only video comments or only text comments. Now, they have to do a video for their first response, but then how I let them respond to their classmates, or I can say none. They're not allowed to comment on each other's videos if I don't want them to be able to do that. And then I can change the record time here. I usually do 1.5 minutes, depending on what the presentation is, but if it has to be a 3-minute presentation, then you could give them 3 minutes, and then they know how close to the time limit they've gotten, or if you want it to definitely be under 2 minutes, and so on. And then there's all these other bells and whistles, but those are the basics for that. And then I update my topic, and then there it is, ready to go for them. So if I go to student view, so we can see what the student's going to see, access denied. Oh, it's because I'm still in edit. Can't do that. There we go. So that should have kicked me out of edit. So then you can see this is what they'll see, and they can record their response and everything in this one page right here. Any questions? How are we doing?
There's a quick question from the chat that says, can you download any of the student videos?
Yes. Good question. You can. When you go into your Flipgrid account, come back into mine. Go to discussion. Let's do this one. See, this is the one we did together. It says I have 10 responses. I still have responses in here from the last time I did this workshop in January. I was going to show you guys too. So you can see here what date they did it, and I can hide videos if I want to, so that you can't, so that other people can't see them. And then if I go to actions, it shows me, these are the different things I can do. I can download it. I can edit their captions. I can delete it. This is where I can delete it. Whoever asked me that earlier, I can get rid of this video. So if I'm like, yeah, this person's video, nope, they got to go. I can edit it, all kinds of things. But if I click hide, then no one can see that video anymore but me. Okay.
So all of that has to be done outside of Canvas then?
If you want to hide or download the video, you're going to have to go into your Flipgrid. But the students have the option to download their video right after they make it from Canvas. So if they want to download their own video, they can. But they can't download other people's, only you can.
And all these changes that you make to the videos are automatically going to reflect in Canvas?
Correct. Yes. So if I go back to my groups, you can see that this is the one that I just created. This is the integration I just created. And it shows a picture. You can edit all that if you want to. I don't usually worry about it. I don't care what their picture looks like. It's not that big an issue to me. So the last thing I was going to show you before we talk about other things is, so if I already have a discussion, like I said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So this is the meet and greet discussion that I already had in my class, let's say. And this was for a written reply. But it's a discussion page, so I can't make it into a Flipgrid assignment unless I copy and paste it. All I have to do is copy all the information from here and then go into the new assignment that I created, which is down here. And then just paste it into here. And then all my instructions and everything, I don't have to retype everything. It will all still work. And then I can decide if there's anything not relevant anymore. So, you know, I still have my pretty little picture in here. I still have all the information. I'm still going to want them to look at the netiquette. The rules still apply, even though it's a video, not a typed. My response time hasn't changed. The only thing I might change is down here for the resources. This does tell them how to respond to a discussion. So I would want to replace that with resources that show them how to respond. And I'm going to show you where you can get that from, to a Flipgrid discussion instead of a written discussion. But other than that, the rest of this all still works. I just copy and paste it into this new assignment that I've made. I can save it. And then I can simply delete or unpublish the one. I'll move this one where that one was. I'll publish my new one, and I'll unpublish or delete the one I'm not going to use anymore. So that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can still use the discussions you already have. You just kind of add that Flipgrid element to it. Whoops. And then here's just some tips to review. It works best with Chrome. Remember, it's got to be an assignment page. You must create the topic on the page. You cannot go in and choose a topic that already exists in your Flipgrid and then integrate it into Canvas. That's the only kind of bummer. However, I showed you can download your video. So you don't have to redo your video and you don't have to retype the assignment each time. You can just copy and paste into the course. This also works well as a makeup option. So if you have a class discussion and someone's absent, what I usually do is I send out an email that day that says, we missed you in class today. This was the discussion that we did. Please make sure you log onto your Canvas and complete the discussion by whatever deadline I have for that, so that they can get credit for the discussion. So maybe everyone doesn't do that Flipgrid discussion, but it's already there in my Canvas, so that if they're absent, I don't have to try to come up with a makeup activity for them or just give them a 0 because they didn't come to class. I still want to hear what their reflection is for whatever topic we're talking about. So I use it also as a makeup for face-to-face classes. And then you can moderate if you want. And then you can require them to post a video before they can comment, just like in regular discussions. So when you're that list of these are modifications you can make, one of them is they have to post before they can see. So if you're asking them to give information that you don't want them to see what other students said first, you can, that is a setting that you can put in there. And then lastly, Flipgrid has a really great help page. If you go to your Flipgrid and again, up that little smiley face where you got to integrations, there's a help button next to it. If you click on that, or you can just go to helpflipgrid.com, they have kind of common topics that people need help with. You can type the search in here, what's wrong. They'll help you troubleshoot. I can't see the videos in Speedgrader, or can I do this with an integration? They like have a list of what does and doesn't work with integration. Right here, they also have little tutorials for your students. So they've got a sheet of this is how you do a video response for your students. And so if I go back into that module, what I actually do for the first one is I have this first discussion information page that I copied from my course. And down here at the bottom, how to submit a video, this I got from Flipgrid Help. You can see right here. I just copy and pasted this from Flipgrid Help to show them how to record their video. I didn't have to type all that in for them. I also could have given them the link to the page if they wanted to just go to the page themselves. So, so that's it. That's, if you want to take some time to try to get it added to a course, and I can be here to help you troubleshoot. This is my contact information here. Do I have any questions?
I had a quick question. When you said you had to create the topic on the page, you mean on the assignment page, or you meant, okay.
Yes, you cannot go into your Flipgrid and create assignments and then go in and try to integrate them into your Canvas. You have to get the window on the page in the assignment page and then create the topic from there. Now, you can edit that topic once it's created on your Flipgrid page, but you have to create it there. If you want it to show up in Speedgrader, it has to be created on the page.
Okay, thank you.
I feel like I talked really fast. But
Sorry, April. I was going to say there's a question in the chat, and I think you touched on this at the beginning of the presentation, but in your opinion and how you use it in your class, what's the overall benefit of Flipgrid?
For me, the overall benefit is being able to look at them, and I can read their faces and see if they're really understanding the concepts, or if they're, so for example, we do this discussion for, we study Antigone for our Greek theater unit, and they have to answer these questions about theme and about specific questions that I have. And so then I can see if they can really explain it to me and they really are getting the concepts, or if they are looking at the computer and reading off of something they have found through Google. And so then I can do things like ask probing questions to get more information out of them, or maybe try to set up a Zoom with them because I can see that they're really not getting it. And it makes them a little more accountable in my mind. Most of them, I can tell, have read it and have thought about it, and they give more elaborate questions because they don't like the silence. So they fill that silence with talking rather than just answering the question. They'll say, because they tend to kind of elaborate on their own.
So it's more like a structured form of Zoom that can integrate into your Canvas platform.
Right, especially for like an asynchronous class where you're not meeting on Zoom. And so you never get to see them
Okay.
They're just a name on a screen. This way you actually can see and hear them, and I think it creates that camaraderie too that you have in face-to-face and even through Zoom, where they get to see each other, and they start this in the meet and greet. They'll comment on things they see in the background, right? Oh, I see that you've got classic cars on the shelf behind you. I like classic cars too. And so they just feel a little more connected, like they do in a face-to-face class or even a hybrid class, than they do in just an online course.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And April, if I can chime in for just a second, a benefit that we've seen both at the high school level and with some of my college students, I have a lot of English language learners, and as far as posting a video, whether it's for speech class or for a discussion, they love being able to do it over again, and it's just so simple because it's all there in one place. And we use it at the high school level for our ELLs who need to practice speaking, and they practice and then they can listen to themselves. And so that's just another benefit for really all of our students, not just at the high school and dual credit level. So
I was going to also say, I find that it really helps with sort of breaking the monotony of typing everything, which is sort of where we're at now. And it's just another way of that they can communicate, as you're saying with like the ESL students. It's for people who are not very good at structured writing, but are excellent verbal communicators. This gives them a moment to do what works for them. It's just another method of getting that information out. And we use it a lot in our music program because everything we do is audio based, and doing synchronous audio is sketchy at best, or takes a lot of technology. And this is just a great method for whenever connection's spotty, or if Zoom's down, you're able to continue to have your basically synchronous course, but just done through like video chatting. So you send your clip to them, they reply back. It works great for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed somebody put in here too that it houses their videos on the cloud rather than them having to take up space, because my computer's full most of the time too, because I make so many videos that I then download to YouTube so I can delete them. But yes, having, a student has to record themselves doing something like applying something or showing a task, they can do a 2-minute video on Flipgrid, and they don't have to try to record it on their phone and then download it to YouTube and then send you a link. It's right there in Canvas.
There's also a iOS and an Android app that they can use to interface if getting to it on their, like say their phone might be one of their only electronic devices. They can just use that app to integrate directly into the course for those assignments, and it records straight to the cloud.
Yes. Somebody said, what do you do if their camera isn't working? I did have a student who they didn't have a camera on their laptop, but they would record it on their phone. They can download a video just like I downloaded the video. So they have the option when they get to their record screen, they can click download a video, and then they can download one that they've like maybe made on their phone because they don't have a web camera. I did have a student do that one semester.
I didn't get a chance to use it in my classroom personally before I switched over to my coordinator role. But one of my friends was a fellow math teacher, and she used it a lot. She taught middle school math. She used it to have her students complete different problems on review sheets. So that way she kind of created this interactive review key with her students. So it wasn't just her doing the problems for them or showing the answers. The students were explaining themselves and showing it. And when you let us play, when I was playing around with it earlier, April, I found that I could put on like a grid so I could graph things. I was very happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else in technology. The more we play with it, the more you're going to learn about it. So, I mean, it's got way more than what I even touched on. If you want to spend time, there's all kind of lessons out there that already exist. So like at the beginning of Black History Month, I would get these notifications about lessons that I could have just taken off Flipgrid and referred my students to. And so it really is used. It's used in middle school, high school, secondary, higher ed. There's all kinds of things out there. And you can, I mean, if you want to be that person, I could have made mine public. Like I could be found by other teachers and vice versa. I can go out and find other teachers teaching in a similar field and share ideas with them. So there's a lot more to it. This is basic Flipgrid.
I just have one more question about accessibility. I noticed, sorry, I clicked on a page where it said that the closed captioning is automatic, but like you can turn it off. Do you keep that on in your courses? Have you noticed that is it worthwhile, or is it just like completely error riddled?
I always leave captions on everything. I'm a caption reader myself. I don't hear really well, especially when there's a lot of background noise going on. So I always have captions on everything, my TV at home, my YouTube, everything. So I always just leave it on. And
I was just curious because I didn't see them come up when you showed the videos on the main page. Is that because like on your Flipgrid, the captions don't come up, or how?
It's like YouTube. You have to click on CC to see them.
Got it. Thank you.
Another reason I like using YouTube links, because all of my YouTube videos have that option if students want to click on it. And it does it. I don't have to do it automatically. Well, I will put the PowerPoint in there again if anybody joined late and wasn't here in the beginning. I know we have a survey link that Amanda is going to put in there for you guys too. We like to get feedback on what we can do better. And then has anybody created a Flipgrid account already or during this workshop? Denise already has one. Julie already has one. So I like that it integrates in Canvas. I think that's the easiest thing for me is that it goes straight into Speedgrader. And it's fun. Like I said, my students really enjoy it. They'll some of them do all the bells and whistles. I'm like, these are TikTokers. They've got borders and emojis and all kinds of things. And then I have the ones that they do the video and that's it. And that's fine too. But it gives them a chance to verbalize instead of just it's a lot of typing. I mean, we're kind of exhausted. So, but that's all I have. Unless you guys want to play around, I'll be glad to stay on till 2:30 and troubleshoot with you. Or Sabra, is that how you say it?
Yes, that's correct.
That's a beautiful name. Sabra said they have a colleague who uses it at NBC. So
yeah, I think an art appreciation is what she's using it for. So, and she loves it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'll be off to go create my account, but thank you very much.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day. Stay warm. It's very cold.
Yeah.
No snow. That makes me sad, but it's cold. Bye, Julie. It's good to see you.
Awesome presentation, April.
Stop recording.